Olá, acordei essa manhã com uma ótima notícia. Republicanos e democratas concordaram pela primeira vez na história dos Estados Unidos sobre uma lei. Esta lei decreta que americanos não poderão comercializar empresas que trabalham com mão de obra escrava. Esta notícia denuncia várias marcas renomadas de moda, tecnologia e de outros setores. 7 anos atrás, enquanto desenvolvia sapatos entre Índia e China, descobri que o trabalho escravo é o maior inimigo desse século. E desde então, venho desenvolvendo uma tecnologia colaborativa para criar um ecossistema mais justo. Freedomi.com. A Freedomi.com une tecnologia de rede comercial e 4 rendas autossustentáveis, multiplicadoras, fazendo com que fabricantes de produtos e serviços, vendedores, consumidores, investidores e filantrópicos possam desenvolver oportunidades econômicas em cada transação. Para construir essa nova economia, precisamos de você. Então inscreva-se na Freedomi.com e agora veja na íntegra o vídeo sobre essa lei nos Estados Unidos.
Washington has approved a legislation to punish China for oppressing Uyghurs. How will they do this? By rejecting goods that are produced with forced labor, the forced labor of Uyghurs in Xinjiang. So the US has passed this law. It's called the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. It was passed in the US House of Representatives. And look at the kind of support it got. An overwhelming majority, 428 to 1, 428 representatives in favor, 1 against. And this is probably one of those rare occasions when both Republicans and Democrats have spoken in one voice. It shows how the United States can be united when it comes to matters of national interest. So what does the bill say? Number 1, it will bar imports of Chinese goods that are proven to be produced through forced labor. Number 2, it will ensure that American enterprises are not funding that forced labor. Number 3, it will require all firms to disclose details of any new deals that have something to do with Xinjiang. And number 4, this bill could lead to sanctions on any foreign entity that deals in forced labor. If this bill gets passed in the Senate too, it could spell trouble for a lot of companies, a lot of mainstream brands that have proven to be benefiting from forced labor. Do you know which brands are these? Look at this report. It was published in March 2020 by the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. This was on the use of forced labor in Xinjiang. A total of 83 global companies and brands were implicated in this report. They were either directly or indirectly benefiting from abusive labor programs. 1 year on, some of these brands have shifted their base from Xinjiang, but most haven't. Here are their names. We'll start with the fashion brands: Versace, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Jimmy Choo, Gucci, Balenciaga, Fila, Hugo Boss, Timberland, Zara, Victoria's Secret, Lacoste, Skechers, Tommy Hilfiger, Sephora. Virtually the entire fashion industry is benefiting from forced labor. What about the technology sector? There's Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Microsoft, Oppo, among others. In the auto sector, we have BMW, General Motors, Jaguar, Land Rover, Volkswagen. And finally, the retailers: Walmart, Kohl's, Tesco, Marshalls, Walt Disney. Any dollar that goes to these brands inevitably goes to factories profiting off Uyghur labor. Factories that subject Uyghurs to unimaginable horrors. According to one estimate, there are at least 80,000 Uyghurs who have been relocated from Xinjiang and assigned to factories involved in a range of supply chains. 27 such factories have been identified so far. They're spread across 9 Chinese provinces. These factories deal in everything: electronics, textiles, automotives, you name it, and Uyghur labor is behind it. The ones who stay behind in Xinjiang are assigned to cotton fields. They're paid, some of them are paid 15 cents a day to pick cotton, some are not paid at all. The cotton they pick is then exported around the world. In case you did not know this, Chinese cotton production accounts for 20% of the global supply. And you know how much of this cotton comes from Xinjiang? 85%. Now, if you're watching this from Europe or America, there's a fat chance that you have at least one piece of clothing that was made through forced labor of Uyghur Muslims in China. So America's decision to stop imports of goods from Xinjiang is a step in the right direction, although we're not sure about the implementation. You see, similar laws have been passed in the past. They haven't changed very much. Here's hoping this one is different.